And I'm back, just like that. 12th man's back. Welcome, everyone. Big up to every single one of you. It's been a brilliant week. I needed a break. I just needed a break. And as much as I love what I do and love chatting to you every day live, love breaking news, chatting to you guys about what's out there in the transfer world, talking about the games, match reactions, panel debates, interviews, and more. I needed a break, man. I really did. And I've enjoyed the sunshine, got myself a little bit of a tan. Been on a beautiful week with family and surprised family out there, which is why I kept it quiet, really. I didn't want to tell you lot on here and spoil the surprise by saying, oh, yeah, I'm going away to surprise the family, and then think, most of them watch my stuff. So I tried to keep it quiet. I did some content while I was out there, did some uploads. A lot of news dropped. Some of the videos that I dropped caused a lot of stir. Max Dowman was spoken about. That went a little bit mad. Victor Gyökeres, here we go. Boom, and then announced the signing. That was mentioned whilst we were out there. And there's been other rumours, to be fair, but of course they've been out in pre-season. Big up to the boys that are out there. I know everybody that has gone out there of having a great time, obviously in Singapore. Now they're in Hong Kong. Lee Judges, Cecil, Robbie, Turkish, James, the guys from AFTV, Curtis, big up to him every time. I know a lot of people are looking at sort of doing some content and vlogs out there. So there's been a lot for people to get in kind of involved in. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, because I'm back in my room, back home, got back early hours. I'm knackered, can't lie to you, but I'm here for another live. So big up to all of the community. It's been weird not seeing you all. I've got to be honest. Some of the names that I'm seeing here again, it's like, wow, I didn't realize how long a week was, but it really has been a long time. But thank you all so much for remaining, supporting the channel, for hitting like, for hitting subscribe. Big up massively to Christian for hosting the Arsenal show in my absence. That will be back this evening at 9 p.m. with a similar panel. And big up to Sava as well, because he run Let's Talk Ball so well. And I must say, huge thank you to him and both of those, because they were brilliant in my absence. And big up to you as a community. Big up to all the moderators for getting people to hit like, for getting people to hit subscribe. We are moving very closely, very, very, very closely to the big 5-0. And I need you to hit like and subscribe. It's 2 buttons that are free. Make sure you're doing it, people, because we're going to get to 50K by the start of the season if this carries on. But I need you all to hit subscribe now for that to happen. So please make sure you do that. I also need you to click on the link pinned in the live chat or in the description, or just scan the QR code up here, because Match Bingo is back and we need you all on it. People are winning money. It is easy to win money. Click on the link, download the app. All you need to do is credit as little as £5 and you can play. It will give you automated cards and it will tick it off automatically for you. People have been winning on the Women's Euros. People were winning in the Club World Cup. The pre-season's amongst us and the season is just around the corner. Make sure you are downloading it, people, because I want you to win some money. Big up to you all and enjoy it. Let me know if you win. I've got a little league table which Arsenal are winning. And I was thinking about this. It would make sense for Arsenal to win it, because it's mainly a football channel, but a lot of people obviously follow me through the Arsenal community and through the platforms that I'm on that talk Arsenal. So please make sure that you are enjoying Match Bingo and get it downloaded. What we're going to talk about today, we're going to be talking about Eze. We're going to be talking about Trossard. We're going to be talking about Zinchenko. We are going to be talking about Reece Nelson, Fabio Vieira, and of course, the fact that we are all looking forward to pre-season. We're going to touch on tomorrow. We're probably going to touch on a little bit more of some topics tonight and tonight's show. But I've got to be honest, we can't really go the show without talking about Spurs versus Arsenal, which they were calling a friendly. Now, I have never heard of it called a friendly whenever we play that lot up the road. But we are going to be seeing a North London derby in Hong Kong. And if I'm honest with you, I don't really know what to think about it. So we're going to get your thoughts on that as well and get some opinions. Big up to everyone that's here. Hit like and subscribe. We're going to go through the news and some of the stuff that's recent, some of the stuff that I haven't really touched on with you guys live. So please let me know your thoughts on that. And I put out a bit of a Twitter poll today, which some people don't like, but that's Twitter for you, saying if we got Eze, what would the rating of the window be? So I'm going to start by asking you as a chat and a panel, even if you're not an Arsenal fan, how would you rate the window out of 10 if Arsenal signed Eze on top of Gyökeres, Madueke, Norgard, Zubamendi, Mosquera and Kepa? That would be 7 signings. What would you give it out of 10. Some people have said it's nothing more than a 6 because we haven't got the players we need yet and we haven't sold anyone. Some are saying it's a 7 at the moment. Some are saying it would be an 8 or a 9 with Eze. Some are saying if we was to get a left winger on top of Eze, it'll be a 9 or a 10. Give me an understanding of where you are at. Where are we? Let's get a show of some numbers. We've got 9s, we've got 7s, 7, 7, 9, 9. This is if we get Eze. 7, 8.5, 7, 8, 8, 9. We're getting very, very high scores here. 7, 9 out of 10, 8, 8. Who else have we got? We got 9, 7. So far, it's a 6. I tell you what, as well, if you're rating it a 6 or lower, explain why. Because I think it's obvious when people are getting it high because they're excited by the players that are coming in. 9, 8, 9, a 6. Is it a 6 or a 7? Let me know. Caden, Palace fan, 6 or a 7. Need another proper winger and need to sell some players. Do you know who we also need, Caden? Your star boy, Eze. I would love him. 8, a 0. I mean, Mattis, let me know why it's a 0, please. I'd love to know. 7 or 8. 7s, 8s, 7, 9, 8.5, 7, 8, 9, 6, 6. If it's a 6, let me know. I'm going to try and understand, see if I can pick up one that's... Soph reckons an 8 or a 9. Wow, I appreciate that, Soph. Wow, that's unbelievable. I didn't think you'd even go that high. So fair play. Reese says, it's simple as this, Dan. We need a left winger. Everyone can see it. It'll be another window where we're less short. No more than a 7. Okay, I'm hearing it. Mattis is very black and white here. He's saying, when we win the league, it'll be a 10. But for now, it's a 0. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Where did I go on holiday? Says Sel. I went to Benidorm in Spain to go and surprise some family out there. And it was beautiful. The weather, wow. I mean, I like it hot, but over 30 every day, pretty much, other than the last day yesterday, which was fairly cloudy and it was 27, which was quite nice and needed, to be fair. So there we go. It's a 6 because we need to sell and we need to get a left winger and Eze. The contract renewals are needed for Saliba and Saka. Do you know what? This is why I like this chat room, because they back up their opinions. They don't just shout out a number and then say, oh, I'm not going to explain why. That's what we need. So I've got to be honest. I really appreciate that. AFC 777, love it. Warren says 5. We've addressed what was needed most. That's the bare minimum. There we go. Easy to please. Uneasy to please. It's a 3 out of 10 window. We don't have another winger. We don't have a 10. We don't have a left back. And we haven't sold anyone like Jesus and Zinchenko. Well, there's still time to go. 6, we need to move players on. So, look, I understand people's frustration still that we ain't been able to sell players. And I appreciate that we're probably anticipating that the players we do sell ain't going to be bringing much in terms of revenue. But I think in terms of who we've bought in, the Gyökeres signing takes it up already to a level. Now, I was sitting there at the time thinking none of these players are taking us to the next level. Zubimendi's probably the only one that's guaranteed to start for us. We ain't bringing anybody else in at the moment that I can see is a much better option than what we've already got. So I can understand why people were a bit frustrated and giving it 4s, 5s and 6s. I think Gyökeres takes it between a 6 or a 7 already. If we're to bring in Eze and we were to do some madness and bring in a Rafael Leao or Rodrigo on the left, I think you have got to push it towards an 8 or a 9, dependent on player sales. If we can get rid of the players that we see as dead wood or that just aren't looking at getting minutes, and we get Saliba and Saka signed on top of Ethan, Miles, Lewis-Skelly and Gabriel, then I will say, do you know what? Job done. Time to deliver. And that's what I hope we'll be saying in a few weeks' time when it shuts. I really do. So, look, big up. Thanks for everyone for getting involved in that. Let's take a look at what has been spoken about over the last couple of days or the last 24 hours or so. Obviously, we are over in Hong Kong and we are training. And there's a lot of talk about who's fit and who's playing and who's looking good, etc. Victor Gyökeres is the one that we want to be looking good. He's got a hell of a welcome. A lot of people are excited. Fans excited. Players excited. The player himself excited. The manager has said, once spoken to and interviewed, that he's excited. And of course, all of the coaching staff are, alongside Andrea Berta, who I think has been pivotal to this signing. This is something that we do need to calm down a little bit of, though. When I look at it, yeah, I'm not expecting a hat-trick tomorrow. I'm not expecting him to definitely score. I'm not expecting Victor Gyökeres to go out against Spurs and prove that he can get Haaland numbers by putting 3 or 4 against them. We have to be realistic. I'd like to see him. I hope we do. And if we do, I hope he looks good. But it's going to be the first time he's ever worn a shirt, first time he's ever kicked a ball with the players. So let's just remain calm, and let him enjoy it. That's all it is, man. Hit the like button, people. We've got 840 people in here, but we have got nowhere near enough likes. We haven't even got 200. That means, wow, there's 600 of you that are just can't be bothered. In fact, there's 700 that can't be bothered because we've got 840 and 140 likes. Listen, I've got to be honest. That is not very good. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. We've got to hit both of them. They're both free. It takes 2 seconds. Yeah. All you've got to do is press cross on this chat, like, subscribe, and click back in the live chat. It literally takes 2 seconds. So come on, mods, let's get these likes up because that is absolutely pitiful for likes and subscribes. So come on, they're going up slowly. I can see it. Don't be lazy. Yeah. Don't be lazy and then complain that your team are lazy in the transfer market. Have a look at yourself. Yeah. That's what I will say. So hit those 2 buttons, people. So that's him. Victor's here. And it's not just him. They've got new signings, Christian Mosquera in Arsenal training today. I'm really looking forward to seeing him, by the way. I don't know enough about him. It's going to be an intriguing signing, a very interesting one. Is this going to be a gem that we look at, that Andrea Berta has seen or looked at or experienced or watched a lot? I don't know how good he will be. However, I like what I hear. So let's see if I like what I see. I think he's needed because it's a centre-half that's going to come in and potentially cover both sides if Gabriel or Saliba were to get injured. And I like that. I like his presence. I like his pace. I like his range of passing from what I've seen. And I need to see more of him to see if I'm correct in those opinions from what I've seen evidence-wise, which, let's be real, is pretty similar to most people, which is the reels on YouTube and compilations. So let's see what he's going to be like. I think it's going to be interesting for sure. So really interested to see Mosquera. Obviously, we've got Zubimendi and Gyökeres together. Now, I think what's guaranteed here is that these 2 are going to be put into the first team when the season starts. A lot of people are suggesting, and I saw Yardman with D having a bit of a to and fro about, is Gyökeres going to start against Manchester United or Old Trafford, or is it going to be Kai Havertz? I genuinely do believe Zubimendi and Gyökeres will start against Manchester United at Old Trafford. And a lot of people are saying you're crazy for thinking that. But Victor Gyökeres does not need to be moulded in for 5 minutes here, 10 minutes against Villarreal, 20 minutes against Athletic Club, and then go into the Manchester United game with 35 minutes. Like, we just need to allow this guy, alongside Zubimendi, to allow Ødegaard to breathe, to give Rice some free roam, to allow some creativity for Gyökeres, and to bring Saka and Martinelli or whoever it is over that left that we hopefully bring in some space. That's what I'm looking at, people, yeah? So let's just I just feel like it's like, well, we've got Gyökeres, but Havertz is going to start. And I love Yardman. I love Yardman. I've got so much time for him. I agree with a lot of what he says. But I feel like there's a lot of anxiety around Kai Havertz playing. Now, if he does start, I think a lot of people will get frustrated. I think a lot of people will start, rightly so, to question what's going on. But it doesn't mean that he's going to be the bench striker, right? It really don't. So let's see what happens. I think Gyökeres and Zubimendi will be coming in to the first team from the off, to be fair. So let's see what happens. More on those players in a bit. Obviously, we've got the rest of the team up in training, which is good. And something that really did kind of make me think, wow, thank God for that, is Jurriën Timber returning to training today. I don't think people appreciate how good he is, by the way. And I like Ben White. I like the fact that Ben White is overlapped. I like the fact that Ben White's good shithousery. I think he's a very, very good defender on and off the ball as a right back. I think he's got the presence and the physical attributes for the game. But he is not Jurriën Timber. I've got to be honest, he's just not. And I love Ben White, but he just ain't. Big up to Aaron, by the way. Absolute ledge. Make sure you're following Aaron Talks Football, yeah? Absolute legend. I've got to be honest, I don't think people appreciated how good he was last season. Because for me, he was clearly my player of the season. People were saying it's Partey. People were saying it's Gabriel. People were saying it's Declan Rice. People were saying David Raya over Timber. It was Timber, man. Like, it was Timber. Like, he was consistently brilliant, not consistently okay. He was consistently brilliant. And I don't really remember any games he played where I thought, oh, that was a shocker. And I had that with everybody else. Even Gabriel and David Raya and Partey, I would see them last season and think, well, that was a bit of a shocker for them. They've been good this season. I didn't do that with Timber once. And he played at left back and right back and centre back. I don't think there's many fullbacks in the world right now that are being looked over Jurrien Timber. There are some. I don't think there's many people. I can appreciate people throwing names at me like Trent, people throwing names at me like Hakimi. People might want to throw fullbacks as left backs and right backs and bring in the Nuno Mendezes of this world. If you want to look at the Premier League, I think he's the best right back in the Premier League. I don't know one that's better. Trent's now gone. Who's better than him? Kyle Walker's done. Yeah. Who in the Premier League is better than Jurrien Timber? There is not one. Real talk. I think he's ridiculously good. So I'm buzzing that he's back. Obviously, he needed a break. He needed, obviously, a procedure. Let's hope he gets back into the swing of things now, comfortably alongside Gabriel, can start to get himself fit for the game against Manchester United at Old Trafford. So big up to him. Ethan and Albert in Arsenal training today. I want to just touch on Ethan very quickly. So pleased that he signed. So pleased that he signed. I truly believe this was needed. I am so happy that he's decided to believe that he can get some minutes at Arsenal, and he should do. I was impressed with him against AC Milan. I thought his first half performance was excellent. He had a really good bit of individual quality on the right-hand side and a brilliant bit in the middle where he literally spun, turned and hit and shot. And it was a great save by the goalkeeper. I just feel like Ethan Nwaneri is going to be a star, and I'm so pleased that he's decided to stay. I really am. So big up to Ethan for that one. Calafiori, he's back in Arsenal training today, people. I wanted to touch on this because this was a very strange scenario again. Riccardo Calafiori was wanted by not just Arsenal, many European clubs. And he was wanted because at 21, he was showing the signs that in Italy, he could be a phenomenal centre-half who's got versatility at left-sided centre-back and left-back, who's really comfortable on the ball, who's great at moving the ball forward, who's got an eye for a pass and has got an eye for vision in the final third of the pitch. And I feel like everything that I've said there is correct, other than I'm not sure about his defending and his positioning. And that, for me, are two of the most important things as a centre-half. Can you defend and have you got good positioning? If you're out of position, a bit of a headless chicken moment, run with the ball a bit too much and forget about your space, I've got worries. And that's my biggest worry about Zinchenko. So I can't sit here and be a hypocrite and say that I absolutely love the fact that Calafiori's doing it, but I don't really like the fact that Zinchenko does it. I've got to be honest with you people. I need to see more. And something that worries me massively is the fact that he goes down a lot. He's got injured a lot. At Bologna, he got injured, but here, he's hardly kicked a ball without managing to get injured. Plays, 2-3 games, and then he goes down again? Do you think right now Calafiori has got what it takes to physically get through the Premier League? I've got question marks about it. Tomiyasu was the same. Nothing wrong with Tomiyasu as a player. This signing just was a bit strange anyway. And now I'm not sure where he is. So I'll ask you a question in the chat. Arsenal fans get involved. Do you know what? Rival fans get involved. I'm going to give you a scenario right now, and I just want you to give me one name. Gabriel gets injured. He's injured at the moment. Well, he's not injured at the moment. He's coming back from injury, I should say. Touch wood, this does not happen. But Gabriel gets injured for 3 weeks. Who are you playing at left-sided centre-back? Kivior or Calafiori? Who? Because Kivior, for me, is ahead of him. Kivior is ahead of him because he's proven he can stay there. He's proven he can stay fit. He's proven he can play there. He's proven against the top level of PSG and Real Madrid. So for me, it has to be Kivior. But I think Mikel Arteta is using Calafiori as a left-sided centre-back at the moment to see whether he's better than Kivior. And I'm not sure that he is from what I've seen. I like some of his play. I dislike some of his play. With Kivior, I've been similar, but Kivior, in terms of consistency, has been a lot better, if I'm honest with you. So that's what I would say. Let's see what the chat is saying. Who would you rather have? We got Kivior, 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 Kivior all day, Kivior 100%, Kivior, 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 Kivior. Okay, no one wants Calafiori in him. Nobody wants him. And you know what, Steve? I'm with you here. I like Calafiori. He's got moments in him, like the City game. And those moments are never defended. Those moments are the goal against Wolves, the goal against Man City, the crosses he's been putting in from the left back position, the left wing position. It's never been about his defending. So I've got to be honest. I'm not sure about Calafiori. That's all I'm saying. Don't want him sold. I don't want him never to play again. I need to see more. And when he does play, I need him to stop getting injured because there's problems there for me. But if it says here that he's in Arsenal training today, well, that was yesterday, sorry, then brilliant. He's obviously not injured. This made me laugh. Thomas Frank on facing Arsenal. It's a great challenge. Besides being our rivals, they're also right now one of the best teams in the world, unfortunately. Do you know what? It's funny because Thomas Frank has now made 2 comments about Arsenal. One of them being gone invincible and the other one being one of the best teams in the world. Spurs fans are not going to like that. Trust me. But fair play to Thomas Frank, who I happen to believe is a very good manager who I think can easily get Spurs into the top 6 this coming season. Unpopular opinion, but I fancy Spurs to have a better season. And I think with the players they're going to bring in, I truly believe that Tottenham will be in and around the top 6, not in the bottom 6 this season. But that's because of Thomas Frank and the side that they have got. They should have. Thomas the Frank engine, apparently they called him. My goodness. What is that? I mean, come on. What is that? Big up to the X, by the way, in that press conference. Choo-choo! Did make me laugh. Anyway, what do we think about this? Let's talk about it. Arsenal Spurs. Shall we talk about it? I mean, we're going to do a lot of talking about it tonight, so I won't go into it too much. I don't like it, people. I hate playing them. It's like going to the dentist. You just want it over with and know that it's gone all right. But I've got to be honest. Why are we doing it? Why do we need to go into a friendly against your fiercest North London rivals? Why do we need to do that? I personally don't like it because you're not going to be able to just have a kick about with those lot. This ain't a friendly. It ain't, oh, well, we beat you, but it doesn't matter. If we beat them, we'll give it to them. And if they beat us, they'll give it to us. It's something I don't like because I think it can knock you as a fan base and as a team if you do get a bad result. And I also think that you could be at risk of injuries. I saw, who was talking about it? Was it Andros Townsend talking about it on TalkSport? It was someone like that saying that you can get injuries. What are you doing it for? Dean Saunders it was, sorry. What are you doing it for? And I kind of agree. Now, I think with Tottenham and Arsenal, at the moment, Arsenal are here and Tottenham are here, right? What I don't want is them to start creeping up like they have done in the last couple of decades. But what I will say is this. Arsenal are clear of them. Clear of them. We've got a better squad than Tottenham Hotspur. It's clear to see, okay? So we should beat them. And I think we should beat them quite comfortably. And I actually think we will win the game. But I just don't like it, people. I just don't like it. It's not a friendly. And I heard it announced, and all of my Arsenal mates just went, what? Even Spurs mates, they were like, what are we doing that for? Like, what are we doing that for? So I don't know how people's thoughts are about it. I don't want to talk too much on the games. I don't know who we're going to see playing and what we're going to be seeing happening. But I've got to be honest, I don't like it at all, if I'm honest. And I'm not looking forward to it. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Okay, there is some breaking news. So I'm going to move to Eze. Because Tottenham, meh, just meh. Don't care about it. But I do care about Ben Jacobs' tweet because his latest tweet a few seconds ago is talking about Eberechi Eze. Now, let's see what's happening here, shall we? So Ben Jacobs has said that Arsenal are in talks with Palace over Eze. We knew that. Palace are seeking Eze's release clause triggered or matched. As per Ed Aarons, Palace want £35 million up front in any deal. Eze remains keen on a move and an Arsenal bid outside of the clause is still anticipated. So we are definitely 100% going in for Eze now. Now, as I say in this title, Eze to Arsenal, we believe it's going to be our next target now that Gyökeres is in. But wanting 35 million up front, that is like the Declan Rice deal, right? Didn't we pay that up front for Declan Rice? So I think it's a lot of money to ask up front. I'm not denying that. But at the same time, in Palace's defence, they don't want to sell him. If we want him, we are going to have to play ball. This is not an easy deal to get done unless you just pay the release clause. So if Arsenal are going to believe that they can go into investigating how we can try to anticipate how much they really want to go down and estimate maybe they don't want quite what, nah. We're going to have to trigger it. We're going to have to release that clause, activate it. And as we know, the release clause does have a expiry date. So it has to be done this window. So, look, it's being retweeted apparently by Fabrizio Romano now, Ben Jacobs' tweet here. So we basically have to pay the release clause and get this guy. Now, there is installments. We're not just going to lump 68 million on Eze in a big lump sum. I mean, Palace would say, yes, thank you very much. However, it doesn't work like that. We're not stupid and naive enough to believe that. It will be an installment. It will be a certain amount up front and then a certain amount installed across a number. So I imagine it will be roughly 35 and then the others in installments. But I believed what we were told was it was 20, 20, 20, and then an 8 million bonus for the 68 million release clause. That was what we were believed. Now they're saying that it's a 35 up top. So they're trying to play hard to get. Now, this is very clever from Crystal Palace, by the way. And I totally appreciate why they're doing this. Because the minute that expiry date comes into play, they no longer have a release clause. They've just made Eze go from 68 million to about 80 million. Because this is the crazy number that people are speaking about at the moment in the transfer market for players. Because the transfer pool and the talent pool is so dead. Eze, who I really like, by the way, is seen as the same price as a Cristiano Ronaldo to Madrid a few years ago. 10 years ago, was it? That's how mad it's gone. So, Eze, for me, we need to now go and get him. And we should have the money to go and get him. But I think, if we're to believe everything that we read, we're going to have to look at who's leaving first. We're going to have to look at who's leaving first. Because we need to try and recoup some money now. And we're going to come into some player sales soon. And the players we believe will go in, the players that are linked to be going. Was it really 17 years ago? God, it was, wasn't it? It actually was, Isn't that scary that it was that long ago? My goodness. That is crazy if it was that long ago. I said 10. Miles off. Anyway, let's forget about it. We're not interested in Ronaldo. We're interested in Eze. Let's look now at where we are. Ben Jacobs is a reliable source from what people tell me. Fabrizio Romano is a reliable source. They are saying that Arsenal wants Eze. They are saying that Eze wants Arsenal. So the only thing we can do now is try to agree a fee with Palace. Now, Palace are not going to budge on this, by the way. This isn't something that you look at and think, oh, yeah, I know he's got a release clause of 68, but I reckon we could probably try and get him for 50 and get Palace down. Not going to happen. Why would Palace do that? Palace are going to say, let's give us a 68 million. Otherwise, he ain't going to come to Arsenal. Now, if they want 35 million on top, yeah, it's pretty mad and crazy, or, oh, that's out of order if you want to say that. It's their player. That's the way they do it. So they're now going to try and put us off of releasing that clause. That's the only thing they've got. They have nothing else that they can do. Arsenal have got money. Let's not pretend that Arsenal haven't got 35 mil to slap on up front for Eze. We're not a skint club. We've got billionaire owners. We've got players we can sell. Even if they're not for a monstrous amount, we can get 35 mil on player sales and allow that to be the case if we were really struggling. So this doesn't put us off. What it does is it gives us kind of a narrow time bracket to get this across the line, which, let's be real, is our fault anyway because we've waited this long. Eze should have been a player that we looked at as a priority over the likes of Madueke, in my opinion. He should have been a player that we looked at ahead of the Mosquera deal, ahead of Norgard, ahead of Kepa. I understand we needed these players as well, all these positions covered as well. But let's just say it how it is. Eze is better than all of those names I've just mentioned. And he would have excited most of the fans if we have done this earlier. So if I'm now hearing we don't have money, I'm going to be questioning what was going on with the Madueke deal. So I don't believe it is that Arsenal don't have this money. Arsenal just want to negotiate it down. Now, I don't have a problem with Andrea Berta speaking to the Palace camp and saying, look, we appreciate it, 68 million. We're looking around this mark. Let's see if we can come to a compromise. But Palace are saying, nah, he's got a release clause because we don't want to sell him. It's 68 million or don't bother. And out of that 68 million, you've got to pay 35 million of it. It's got to be up front. So they're trying to put us off so that we get closer and closer and closer to that expiry date. So that we go, there you go, there's your 35 mil, and there's the rest of it. There's the 68 mil. He's now our player. So Palace have got no rush here. Palace are sitting there thinking, we can be patient. I've got faith that we can get 68 mil. He's good enough. He wants to come. Arsenal want him. Let's see how badly they want him. So I think fair play to Crystal Palace here, because this is something that they should be or could be losing their heads about. Oh my God, Eze's going. Yeah, he could be going as well. And they just sat there and remained calm. Like, yeah, they're two good players. You're going to have to pay this amount and you're going to have to pay this amount. And just sit there and wait for them to pay it. Because Liverpool for Guehi, they're not going to get him for 30 million. You're going to have to nearly double that if you want to get Mark Guehi. He's an unbelievably good centre-half. A Premier League proven centre-half, an England international. Probably England's best centre-back, I've got to be honest. I think he's a top quality centre-half, and I would have had him at Arsenal. So for me, they're going to sell him for 35. So Palace are in a good position, man. I always wind up D about it, and I was doing it today. But real talk, if they got 68 M's for Eze and close to 50 for Guehi, they'll go and spend that wisely, because what Palace have got is a good scouting record, right? You look at the scouting they've done in the Championship, the likes of Eze, the likes of Elise, the likes of Adam Wharton. They've gone and picked up players that I didn't even know much about. Daniel Munoz, I knew nothing about him. Quality. Maxence Lacroix, excellent. Mateta, brilliant striker. I've got to be honest, I like what Palace have done. I do. I like what Palace have done. So I want Eze big time. I do. I want him big time. And from what Ben Jacobs is saying, we're in talks with Eze. They want the release clause triggered. £35 million up front in any deal Palace want. Eze remains keen on the move, and Arsenal bid outside of the clause is still anticipated. So when he says a bid outside of the clause, we obviously know that, right? Arsenal are not going to go straight in with 68 million. They're not going to. I think personally, they should be looking potentially at just getting it done. But I don't think Andrea Berta works like that, from what we understand. Look how long it took for Gyökeres. Look how long it took for some of these deals to get across the line, Zubamendi, etc. He's not going to just go, okay, there's 68 mil, let's get it done and move on. I don't think any sporting director would do that. I believe Arsenal anticipate there's a little bit of wriggle movement. There's a little bit of leeway. There's a little bit of movement might be needed to come down. And I think that the probably sensible ballpark figure is 60 M's. And I think what they'll probably do is say, we'll give you 60, 20 either across each installment. Something like that. Palace will say, no, we'll go back and try and lift it up. And we'll find some form of leeway. I just think if we're haggling over 8 million and we want to have a ballpark number of 60, just pay the 8 mil and get across the line. And then we can move on to the left winger that we really badly need as well. Yeah? So, Eze, let's just talk quickly about the player. Got a lot of time for him. I think he's an excellent baller. I think he's a proven Premier League winner who has turned up in big games and been exceptional. But I do believe he's more of a creative midfielder centrally, which is why I don't think Madueke or Eze are coming in to replace Martinelli. I just don't. I've just got something in the back of my mind which is telling me that you're not done on the left yet, Arsenal. And there's been a tweet from Ben Jacobs today, but obviously previously there's been a tweet from Ben Jacobs talking about what would be happening with the likes of, hang on, let me try and find it first, of Eze. And that, of course, involves players potentially leaving. Now, I've got to try and find it first. Here we go. So if we are to get him, then we're going to have to look at who comes and leaves. And it wasn't Ben Jacobs. Sorry, I'm getting all my tweets mixed up. There's been too much going on in my absence, people. Trossard could be the player that leaves. Now, I think there's potential for this to happen. I think there's some fruition in this. It looks like Leandro Trossard is increasingly likely to leave Arsenal, having attracted interest from Borussia Dortmund and other Premier League clubs. The sale of Trossard would help Arsenal fund moves for a left winger and Eze. Not Eze, a left winger and Eze. Now, that doesn't mean that Trossard's the only one leaving. There's, of course, other players we'll come on to in a minute that are looking like they're going to try to be shown the door from Arsenal as well. But Trossard has done his job at Arsenal. He came in at 26 million pounds, January transfer signing, excellent for us, player of the month in March, put us into a title race, almost won the title for us. And if I'm honest with you, has been a very good signing. But at the age of 30, with 1 year left, he doesn't want to sign, it seems. I think he wants a new challenge and maybe one last big move where he can go and get a club for his last kind of big few years or last few years playing football. Dortmund would be an excellent club for him. I always like them. They're my favourite Germany club. Got a lot of time for what they've done with some of the young players they've had there or brought through there or have given a chance there. I've got to say, this would be a great move. Now, I don't know how much we're getting. There's rumours that we'll probably get 20 million. But I don't think we can look to be pushing for much with a player who's 30 in their last year of their contract. They're, let's be real, legs are going, not got the pace of months before, good finisher, technically gifted, but 20 to 25 mil is probably what they'll be expected to be selling him for now. If he was on a 2-year deal and maybe he was a bit younger and was on fire, then we could be looking to push for 30 to 35, 40. I think if it was to go to Saudi Arabia, we could then again try and get more money because of their position over there. But let's be real, this happening would be a good thing. I don't think he's the only one. We're going to come on to the likes of Nelson and Vieira and Jesus, some of the other links that have been rumoured of the last couple of days. But if this is going to be the case and this is going to be true, then we are hearing that they do not just want to bring in Eze. Arsenal want to bring in a left winger as well. Now, you can throw names at me, Rafael Leao, Rodrigo. Some of them might say you're dreaming. But let's be real. It looks like we want them. So people that think Madueke's our left winger, doesn't look like Arteta wants that. People that believe that Martinelli's going to be our left winger and we won't get anybody else in, doesn't look like it's going to be that. People that believe that Eze is going to be the left winger at Arsenal, doesn't look like it's going to be that. Now, we might see them play in those positions. Martinelli might start the season there. Eze might come off the bench. Madueke might start on the right when Saka's not about, or he might start on the left in a couple of games. I've got no doubt that Eze will play centrally along with Ethan. But when I look at it, I don't mind that because it's versatility. I don't think when everybody is fit that any of those players are our left winger yet in our eyes. So I think we're still not done. And this is exciting. This will be exciting. I need to see it because we do need a left winger. In the 2 pre-season games I've watched, I've been most disappointed with that left-hand side. Not the Lewis-Skellys, not the Declan Rices, not the Martin Zubimendis or the Kiviors or the Calafiores. The left wing position has been underwhelming, to say the least. I don't think Martinelli's been brilliant. I don't think Trossard has either. Reece Nelson came on and showed us a glimpse, but he's not going to be here for long. So we need another left winger, people, and we all know this. It's glaringly obvious. Saka is a monster on that left right-hand side. Gyökeres has now been brought in. Havertz is going to back him up. Left-hand side, I love Martinelli, but he does not scare oppositions like he used to, and there's not a lot of comparison between him and Saka. So for me, we need an upgrade. I'm happy to keep Martinelli. I want him to stay as the backup. I still think there's a player there. But I need to be seeing an upgrade coming in. So if this is going to be the case, and Eze could be coming in, Trossard could be going out, and we're looking to get another winger as well on top of that, this could be an 8 or 9 out of 10 window. This could be one of the best windows we've had in a long time. Bringing in, 8, 9 players? Are we serious? Come on. I thought we'd get 4 or 5 this window. To nearly double it is absolutely madness for me. So that's where I'm at. I've got to be honest. It really is quite unbelievable to think that we can potentially get that that across the line. So player sales, we could be seeing them. We could be, if I'm honest. I'm not going to lie. I do feel like there's a few players that need to leave. And one of them, via Ben Jacobs, again, today, it looks like it's going to be Alexander Zinchenko. Now, we have a great link with Fulham, don't we? They are trying to build Arsenal 2.0. And it looks like Fulham are the team that are interested in Zinchenko. This broke today around about an hour ago. And Ben Jacobs said that Fulham have made an approach to sign Zinchenko. Fulham have been in talks with the players' camp since June, and they're now considering making a formal bid, with Arsenal valuing the player at around 15 million. Now, look, we bought him for 27 million, I think it was. It was a good player for that season. After that, for me, once I realised, and everyone else had realised that he can't defend, it was absolutely time to get somebody better. We've upgraded in that position with both Lewis-Skelly and Calafiori, and to be honest, anybody, to be honest, has done a better job over there defensively than Zinchenko. I've got nothing wrong with his ability on the ball. I think he's technically gifted, but I do believe he's a midfielder. And if Fulham wanted to add him into the midfield, I think that would be fair, because Anthony Robinson is an excellent left-back. Unless someone tells me that he's leaving, I can't see Fulham wanting to play him ahead of Anthony Robinson at left-back. So for me, I think Fulham bringing him into the midfield would actually be a really good move for them. I think he might do well there. 15 million is a steal, by the way. The problem Fulham have got is, just like Reece Nelson, who they also want, Reece Nelson's on 100k a week and Zinchenko's on 150. So I think they're going to try to do a loan deal with an obligation to buy and try and help with wages or something like that, so they can afford both these deals. And they would be added to Leno. They'd be added to Iwobi. They'd be added to Smith Rowe. It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. How many ex-Arsenal players that they've got still in their books there. Got a good relationship with Fulham. So watch what happens to this one. I would be happy to take 15, 20 million, because I just don't think we need him. And I'm not a huge lover and fan of it. So, yeah, I think it would be a good move for Zinchenko to go to Fulham. I really do. I think it is needed. I've got to be honest. Willian as well, by the way. That is another one that's there. Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe that. Yeah, we're definitely not forgotten that. Sticking with Fulham, a couple of days ago, David Ornstein suggested that it's not just, of course, Zinchenko that Fulham want. They also want Reece Nelson. I like Reece. A lot of time for him. Think he's a good player. Still got talent at 24, 25. Left wing, right wing. Done well at Fulham until his injury. Fulham fans actually preferred this signing over Emil Smith-Rowe, which was very surprising to me. But David Ornstein said a few days ago that Fulham are in advanced talks with Arsenal to sign Nelson. There's discussions for the 25-year-old over a loan with a buy option or obligation and a significant fee or permanent deal. There's agreement between Fulham and Arsenal that's close but not done. Work's needed to move to materialise this. It's very interesting that they've gone in alongside Zinchenko and Reece Nelson. Neither of those have been announced yet. Again, I think it would be a good signing for Fulham. I don't think we can be expected to be getting much more than 10 million for Reece Nelson, 10, 15 million. I don't think anyone can say that's a shocking bit of business, because the guy's hardly kicked a ball for us. He scored a couple of really important goals, but come on, like, let's be real. We're not going to get 30 million for Reece Nelson, are we? Yeah, we're not going to get 25 million for Reece Nelson. If we can get anything between 15 and 20, I'll be absolutely amazed. So that's for me where I'm at. And I like Reece, and I wish him all the best, and I hope he has an unbelievable career wherever he goes in football. Big Arsenal fan. I know for a fact he loves Arsenal, and I'm a big fan of what I'm seeing from Reece. So yeah, let's just be real. I really, really like everything about Reece Nelson, but he's not, for me, going to be something that Arsenal need to be going to win the league. So good luck to Reece. I hope it works out for him. I really do. That's where I'm at. I don't think there's anybody that can say that they're not a Reece Nelson fan. But to say that you believe that he's the next best thing or whatever it be, nah, it's not going to happen. Something else that doesn't seem like it's going to happen is hitting the like button. My goodness, 1.6k in here, and we are doing terrible on likes, people. We've only hit 400. That means there's 1,100 of you that have not hit like. What? Over 1,000 people. What are you watching for? Do you not like me? Do you not like the content? Is that what it is? Come on, people. Show some appreciation. It is free. Hit like and subscribe, and that will like the video, get us up to 50k, and we can be happy. Yeah, we only about 2,000 away, yeah, from 50K. Just around about 2,000. Let's get this up to 50K before the season starts. Please, please, I beg you. Please, I'm begging you now. Yeah, come on. Let's get the likes up to 750. If it's not a 750, hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, please. And make sure you're following Match Bingo. Scan the QR code in the top right corner. Download the app. Credit £5 or as little or as more if you want. Just as little as £5 to get to playing automatic cards. And let me know if you win, because a lot of people are winning. That's Reece Nelson. Somebody else that looks like they could be on the move, and there's rumours about it quite strongly, is Mr. Fabi Vieira. Now, Fabi Vieira was a player that was very highly rated when we signed him, £38 million from Porto. We walked away from Conceição and Vitinha, who were both playing alongside him in that Porto side, which is criminal from Edu and Arteta. However, he's a player that just needs to be gone. We need to cut our losses. I don't think he's on a lot of week. He's still young. He's still got potential. I don't think he's suited to this league. Apparently, West Ham want him. So I look at it now thinking, why do West Ham want him? He's lightweight. He's weak. He doesn't suit this league. Technically gifted, good way to pass. But other than that, I haven't seen enough. And Ben Jacobs says that West Ham have added Vieira to their list of midfield options. No approach yet to Arsenal, but Vieira is now a name of interest. West Ham are planning to add multiple midfielders this summer. Now, West Ham need players. West Ham need midfielders, not just them. They need a whole spine, in my opinion, because it isn't good enough. But when I look at it, this would be brilliant for Arsenal. It wouldn't be brilliant for West Ham. It'd be brilliant for Arsenal. I don't think we're going to get anything more than 15 to 20 million euros for Fabi Vieira. Let's just be realistic. The guy has not been a good signing. The guy has been a flop for Arsenal, and we need to move him on. I don't think this signing is going to be good enough. I don't think it's going to be. So we need to move him on. Alongside Lokonga, who's still here, that's nobody's linked with, by the way. No links to Lokonga, unless people can tell me in the chat that they've heard it. So, yeah, I think we need to be realistic here. For West Ham fans listening, I truly believe Fabio Vieira could be Patrick Vieira. I think he's that good. He's a monster in the middle. He'll dictate play. He'll pull all the strings. He'll be a pass master. And for 20 million euros, it's an absolute steal. I've done my bit. There we go. Fabi Vieira could be one of the names off, of course. Another player that's being spoken about as leaving, and I don't really know how much I believe in this one. I'm not sure. But I would take it 100% if it's to be true. And I like this footballer. I think he's been fantastic over the years. But I don't think it's worked for him at Arsenal. And the injuries have killed him. Of course, talking about Gabriel Jesus. I like Jesus. I think as a footballer, he's great. And if he was to be fit, I'd keep him in the squad. But he never is. On the wages that he's on, it's absolutely mad. Flamengo are in talks over a loan move for Jesus. The Brazilian has given the green light as he seeks regular minutes ahead of the World Cup. Arsenal are open to covering half of his wages, which is £265,000 a week. Now, if that loan was to go with a option, I think we should do it. Or an obligation, I think we should do it. Even if it's a 25 million option, I don't care. Just get rid of him. I like him a lot, but his knees are done. His injuries have killed us, and he has not been available enough. So I do believe that there's a chance that we look to try and sell him. Now, I don't know who's going to want him. I'm hearing people in the chat saying that this is not true and it's an unreliable source and rah. Fine. But I think Saudi or Brazil are the only two options that we have. People were saying Newcastle. I don't think Newcastle want Gabriel Jesus. They're looking at both Benjamin Sesko and Jan Wissa. And today it looks like Manchester United are favourites to get Sesko. So Newcastle could end up with Wissa to replace Isak. Wow. Crazy. Scary, in fact. Look. Gabby Jesus is a player that I thought was going to be a very, very good signing for Arsenal. I wasn't convinced that he was going to take us to a title, but if you remember at the time, I thought he could have been easy enough to get us into the top four because that was what we were trying to do. But I don't think Gabriel Jesus has been a good signing for Arsenal. £50 million. It's been no better than Lacazette. It was £50 million. In fact, it's been much worse. And Lacazette at the time, I know we were different places then and we were trying to get into the top four and win the Europa League. But I thought Lacazette and Aubameyang together were hell of a scary. And Jesus has been nothing but disappointment in terms of injuries at Arsenal. They've killed his Arsenal career. It's not been fair. It's been harsh. When you do your knee, it's bad. When you do both your knees, it's not going to happen. And although I believe he's back on the grass and he's trying to get in light training work and a bit of fitness, I hope that is okay enough for him to pass a medical somewhere else to get some form of money. It's more his wages that are an issue. 265 is not a massive amount of money in this day and age, but it is when Arsenal are looking at what they pay everybody else and what they're going to have to pay everybody else. We don't pay him mad money in terms of he's on 500k and he shouldn't be, but he's definitely on more than he should be. And I think personally, if Saliba and Saka are signing these deals, they're going to be asking for 300 plus because they're going to look at Jesus and Havertz and go, so these guys don't get in the team. They're in a similar position to us. We're ahead of them in the pecking order. Okay, let's do it. We'll ask for 300k a week. And I think that would be fair. I truly do believe that would be fair. So I think we've got to be realistic about the Jesus situation. So basically, we're in a scenario where with a few weeks left, we all want Eze, we all want a left winger. And we're in a position where Trossard could be leaving. Jesus could be available to be sold. Lokonga available to be sold. Reece Nelson available to be sold. Zinchenko available to be sold. And Fabio Vieira being available to be sold. So that's 6 players. With Yoral Harto going to Chelsea, I think we're keeping Kivior now. And I'm happy with that. I'm happy for it. So I've got to be honest, I still think there's a lot of work to be done player sales-wise. Now, out of those 6 players, we ain't getting much money. You'd be lucky if you get 10 million for Lokonga. You're going to be lucky if you get 10, 15 million for some of the others that have been touted with moves like Zinchenko and Nelson and Vieira. You're going to be lucky if you get anything in that kind of bracket. I think Trossard and Jesus can get us 20-odd, but that'd be it. Everything else will be down. So you'll probably find out you'll get just shy of 100 or just over 100 million for all of them. That's probably what we're going to get. Now, that's great because the wages go off the bill and then we can use that 100 million to go and get that winger that we all want, right? And we're all dreaming with that winger. It's not go and get someone like Semenyo. It's go and get a Rafael Leao. Go and get a Lookman, who I think has actually gone now. Go and get, of course, Rodrigo, who's the dream. That's where we're at with it, right? So I think that's the way that we can potentially make this window a 9 out of 10. Because that's what I want it to be. I want to look at that window shut and go, wow. Andrea Berta has cleared out the deadwood. He signed up Saliba, Saka, Gabriel, Ethan, and Miles Lewis-Skelly. And he's brought in 8 players. Wow. That's what we'll say. So Eze looks like it could be happening, or at least we believe we can get it done. Palace aren't going to be playing ball very kindly, but I think we can understand that they're going to play a bit of ball and we're going to be able to get the player at some cut. Whether it's we have to release the clause or they do play ball and come down a bit, I think Eze will get. And I think it'll be a brilliant signing. For me, Rodrigo is the one that we're dreaming about after that. Dreaming of. Because we need a left winger. And I said it earlier. Rodrigo is clear of Martinelli and Trossard. Martinelli as backup would be brilliant. And working alongside someone who he's in international duties with, I think it would be brilliant. The Brazilian links there. I truly believe with Rodrigo, Liverpool will not go in for him because they're all in for Isak and they've got Ekitike. Now, they could do a madness and go, we want Rodrigo as well because Diaz has gone. Nunez is going. We've had the tragic death of Diogo Jota, RIP. And that means that they've got Isak in and one striker gone. They've got Ekitike in and another striker gone. And they're looking at a left winger going, and they'll want a left winger. If they go and get Rodrigo on top of Isak and Ekitike, wow, it's mad. I think he wants us. I truly do believe that Rodrigo would want us. But I could be wrong. Big up to Max. Hope you're well, mate. Legend. Make sure you do me a favor, people. Hit the like button, hit subscribe. Let's see what these guys are saying in the super chat. Sam says 7 with Eze, 8 with Saka and Saliba renewed, 9 with 4 or 5 sales, and 10 with Rodrigo. Rodrigo and Eze make Madueke a good addition, bearing the fee. Do you know what, bruv? That's a fantastic super chat. It is. Sometimes you got to be fair and say fair play. Andrea Berta's come in and done the business. Yeah? Mikel Arteta deserves credit alongside him, of course, but Andrea Berta is the one who's pulling these strings, man. Because look at the difference with Edu going and with Andrea Berta coming in, if that is the window. 7 at the moment with Eze. Cool, fine by me. Sign Saka and Saliba up. Yep, it's an 8. Player sales, you can go with a 9, and then 10 with Rodrigo. I'm not going to give it a 10 because I never do, but I think it's as close to the best window we've ever had. So fair play, man. I appreciate that super chat. Guna Dom says, sales don't need to be done to get Eze. We need to be done to get a left winger. Karma. Yeah, listen, I'm agreeing with you. I don't think we need to be selling to get Eze. I think we need to be selling to get Rodrigo. That's what I think. Listen, would it be a goosebumps window? Zubamendi, Gyökeres, Rodrigo, Eze, Madueke, Norgard, Mosquera, and Kepa. Close to it, isn't it? 10 out of 10 for me would be an unrealistic one. Rodrigo, Wirtz, Isak, Gyökeres, Zubamendi. That's the sort of 10 out of 10. That's never going to happen. But I think we could get close to it if we bring in Rodrigo and Eze. I'll tell you that now. That would be unbelievable. Me, Curtis, and Turkish said it right at the start. 3 players you don't want, Dan. Eze, Gyökeres, Rodrigo. They were the 3. So we got to be realistic and say fair play. Talking of Gyökeres, the guy is a baller. And I'll tell you why. Because his goal that he scored in training today, dear me, it looks pretty good. Let me tell you that, people. I don't know how many of you can see this, but that is a strike, people. Lot of time for this signing. Got to be honest. Lot of time for it. If he puts in goals like that in real games, wow. First touch is great, and wow, no one's saving that. Top bins. It's phenomenal. I got to be honest. It's phenomenal. What a goal. And sorry if that was a bit small, by the way. Maybe I should have zoomed in a bit, but, you know, is what it is. I got to be honest with you. The games I've seen so far, and I'll touch on this more later, I've been impressed with Zubamendi. I think he's been very good. He's been everywhere. He's been on the ball. He's been comfortable on the ball. His passing's good. I've been impressed with... do you know what? I don't think there's anyone I've not been impressed with. Maybe some of the ones that are going, you know, like Zinchenko. I've not been impressed with Martinelli. I'll tell you that, actually. I've not been impressed with him. But I'm impressed with Saka. I was impressed with Odegaard in the last game. But the one player that I've been impressed with, of course, is Max Dowman. And Max Dowman, for me, is going to be a star. When people say, was he as good as Owen, Rooney, Messi, Yamal at that age, you know he's doing something right. When he takes the ball and he drives past players like they're not there, and those players are players like Joe Linton, you know you've got a talent in your hands. When you look at what Max Dowman's about, I don't worry about the things I should be worried about with him. I should be worried about if this can get to his head, but I'm not. I should be worried about his strength at 15, but I'm not. I should be worried about how he's going to react to being kicked at 15, but I'm not. I should be worried about the fact that he's going to be getting too much minutes to get burnt out, but I'm not. I'm quite relaxed about this. Now, people might say to me, damn, why do you want Madueke and Eze when you got Ethan and Max Dowman? We've also got to remember how old these kids are. Now, at one stage, I'm one of these guys who says, if you're good enough, you're old enough. On the other hand, I'm saying you need strength in depth, and you cannot get to a title race or a Champions League semi-final and rely on Max Dowman and Ethan to go and win you it. That's not fair on them or anyone. I think Max Dowman is going to be unbelievable. I've not seen anything like that at 15. People said to me Rooney was like it. It wasn't really accessible at that age. At that time, technology wasn't. People have said Michael Owen was. People have said that Messi and Ronaldo were. Fine by me. Because you know what? If you're putting those names alongside him, I tell you what, we've got an absolute gem. Absolute gem. So I've got to be honest. I don't feel like there's any need to worry about this. I put out a tweet that said that rival fans are rattled. Rival fans might be rattled by saying, oh, this club is better. Calm down, calm down. But you know what they are? And fair play to them. They're saying, what a talent. What a talent. Because I truly believe we've got something special on our hands. And I'm a fan of Miles, Lewis-Skelly and Ethan, big time. But I haven't seen anything like this. I haven't seen anything like this. It is ridiculous. Mikel Arteta wanted him in the side last season. Wasn't able to legality-wise due to his age. Now he's able to, and he's the age that Ethan was when he came on against Brentford a couple of years ago. I think we're going to see him. I think he's going to play some Carabao Cup games. I think he's going to be brought on for some minutes. I think we're going to see him in Champions League games. I think we're going to see him in the FA Cup. I think Mikel Arteta, as long as he can take them seriously, I think Max Dowman's actually going to feature this year at 15. Scary. Absolutely scary. It's mad. I've got to be honest. It's absolutely mad. So, yeah, look, I'm a big fan of what Max has done. And if I'm honest with you, I've got to say it's a very interesting scenario. That's for sure. Let's go through the Mikel Arteta press conference. That's the last thing that I want to do. It is out now. So let's go through that. Make sure we do everyone do a favor. Make sure you please hit like. We've only got 600 likes. Let's get that up to 800 people. Come on. I know you can do it. There's 1.5k in here. Yeah. Come on. Make sure we do this. Okay. Let's share the screen for the press conference before we come to a close. So I think everyone can see this here. There we go. On the first North London derby, Arteta said it's a great idea. I think it brings football tradition, rivalry, but at the same time to do it in a completely different country, I think it's brilliant. I think it's an opportunity for everybody to feel that, and for us as well, because of our preparation, it increases the competition level again, and it brings a different challenge to the game. And then we're going to be so lucky to play in this incredible stadium with 50,000 people that I'm sure are going to be super loud and passionate. So, of course, he's excited by it. He's not going to sit there and, say, we shouldn't be playing Tottenham in a friendly, like some of the fans think. So, fair play. Martin Odegaard. Martin's experience playing at a young age. He says, to be fair, I think the whole squad's really good in this way to help young players. And as you say, with those two, Max Darwin and Marley Salmon, they're so young and so much quality. I think myself, I try to share my experience, guide them in the right direction, help them to keep the right mindset, because you can see that the quality is obviously there. So it's just trying to help them to have the right mindset and help them feel good in the team. Let them shine, do their thing. They've been amazing on this tour, and you can see the quality. It'll be exciting to see them in the future. Yeah, Marley Salmon, by the way, at 15. People have forgotten that because Max Darwin has rightly taken the plaudits, but he's come in as a 15-year-old centre-half, and he's looked good as well. So let's be real. It's impressive from what I've seen. Let's continue. We were asked on Victor Gyökeres' fitness. He says, yes, I understand he's only done today's session. Yesterday, very little. We're going to assess tonight how he is. If the medical staff are happy as well with his condition to participate in tomorrow's match, then it's a possibility. We're going to discuss that tonight. There is no Arsenal fan that does not want to see Victor Gyökeres tomorrow. I hope he does feature. On the rest of the squad's availability, everyone's going to be okay apart from Big Gabby, who's still out, and probably Ricardo Calafiori. It's going to be a bit too early for them tomorrow. That's fair. Obviously, we saw Calafiori go down. He is in training, but obviously not match fit there, they don't believe. And Gabriel's still not match fit. And Timber, of course, who's not match fit yet. And, of course, Jesus. Martin Odegaard was asked about what excites him about playing with Gyökeres. He says, I think you've all seen what he's done in his career so far, especially his last season at Sporting. The numbers speak for themselves. He's a very complete player, physical, strong, fast, good finisher and intelligent. I think he's a very complete striker, and you can also see the hunger and energy he brings. I'm really excited to have him with the team. He's only trained a few times, but you can already see the quality, energy, and the willingness. I'm excited to have a pitch with him. Arteta was asked on the size of the squad. He said, I said that I was extremely happy with the way that we've approached the window and how aggressive we've been. There's still a long period with the window open, and so far we're very happy with what we've achieved. Make sure that at the end of the window we continue to be super happy. Now, that's really interesting, that last sentence, because that to me means we ain't done yet. Let's not finish there. Let's not just be happy and leave it. Because why he says we continue to be super happy, let's make sure that we do that at the end of the window, that means we ain't done. Odegaard said by helping Victor Gyökeres to settle, obviously with the language and everything, it's easier for me to help him. We can speak our own language. Scandinavians always bond well together. In that way, it's been really natural. To be fair, it's like with any player, every new player, we try to help them in the best way. That's what I felt when I came here at home straight away, how good the culture and environment was. Everyone wants to help you and get the best out of you. It's important also how you do things off the pitch. What we all do, we're just here to help. So far, he's having a good time, I think. Good to know. Good to know. We need him to have a good time, and we need him to start scoring. That's for sure. Okay, he goes on to talk about how Victor is wearing the number 14. Arteta says, I think I used the word conviction. That's the first thing I noticed when I spoke to him. He's very determined, someone that was really already attached to the club, the way he was talking about the club, the history, and in this case, Thierry Henry and what the shirt represented. I felt it. So when you feel it, you've got to go for it. He wants a number 14 because he wants Arsenal and he loves Thierry Henry. That's good enough for me. It's better than giving it to Eddie Nketiah, bless him. What a shirt number means, Odegaard says, I think it's different to every player. Some players would say it's important. Others, they don't care. I think players, they have a special feeling about a certain number, and it might be important, but I don't think it's the most important thing. For some players, it might give them an extra good feeling to play with a certain number, but for me, it doesn't matter too much. Arteta visited Hong Kong in 2012 and said there's similarities. The city's changed. I came here one more time. Very impressive. The most impressive thing is our supporters, how passionate they are, the way they ask things. They're emotional. They spend so much time outside the hotel. And I think the way they received the team was incredible yesterday. It made us feel that all this trip is worth it. I think people deserve to enjoy the team as well. He was asked on Thomas Frank, who said that Arsenal are one of the best teams in the world. Arteta said, well, that's great to hear. That's from someone like Frank, especially, which I respect immensely. And what to expect, I think tomorrow we're going to start to see the direction that he's going to take the team, implementing his vision and philosophy. And we just need to be focused on what we want to do and what we want to achieve. And I'm sure it's going to be a great game. He said about Victor handling the pressure. He said, I think he already has, because when the news broke, you realize the magnitude of the club you're going to be representing and how viral everything goes so fast in these days. His immediate reaction was wow. And then he sees the way we were received again yesterday. Training session, we had 20,000 people. It's 50,000 seater stadium. Tomorrow, I think you're going to have a very good impression, that's for sure. He says he loves the high-profile game. He thinks we all do. We're all excited to play in front of so many supporters. And as Mikel Arteta said here, this is Odegaard speaking, we really felt that love and connection. It's been a while since we've played this type of game. I think that's what we all want. And for me, it's a good thing that we get a proper test and something that means a little bit more with a derby. So I think we're all ready. He says, I think the support and reception we've had here has been amazing. We arrived at the hotel and it was people everywhere and shirts everywhere. We really felt that love. Today in the stadium, around 20,000 people come and watch us train. So we really felt that. It's really special. It's amazing to travel so far. So that's really good. That's interesting because they've obviously got a great welcome and fair play. This was interesting as well on the goals for the season. So this is Mikel Arteta talking about the targets. He says, well, we need to do better than the previous season. We all know what that means. Again, I think everything starts with the preparation in terms of how we build the squad and how ready the team is going to be starting to compete from day one, and everything that we've seen so far. The feeling that I get straight away is very, very positive. So look, he's ended there and he's not said anything there, has he, about winning a trophy. But you can see that he said we need to do better than the previous one. We all know what that means. And that means Mikel Arteta knows he's got to deliver. Mikel Arteta knows that he has got this one final season to show everybody that he can win and deliver something with this team. And I've told people that I would take a domestic cup and a title race as a bare minimum. I would love the Premier League and the Champions League. I would love to win more than one. I would love to win trebles, quadruples, doubles, whatever it be. But for me, the bare minimum for him to keep his job is to win a trophy and deliver us a title challenging season that goes through to May. Some are saying, no, it's got to be a Premier League or a Champions League, Dan, or sack him. Fine. But he knows the pressure is on. Listen, people, we're going to leave it there. Absolute legends, every single one of you. Make sure you do me a favor. Hit the like button. Make sure you hit subscribe. And make sure that you're following Match Bingo, which is up in the corner there. Because we need to show them some love, people. We really do need to show them some love. Let's see who's live that we can send you to right now. Looks like Mo is live. Where are we? Looks like Mo is live. Is Mo live? Yeah, Mo's live. Oh, DJB's live. Let's send you over to DJB. Let's send you over to DJB. Oops. And you can go show him some love. He's going to be on tonight at 9 p.m, people. Make sure you're back here for 9 o'clock. We've got a brilliant panel. We've got Christian, we've got D, we've got myself, we've got Yardman, we've got DJB, we've got Kenny Ken. There's a great load of us that are coming on tonight. So please make sure that you do show some love tonight at 9 p.m. We'll be here for the Arsenal Roundabout to discuss all things Arsenal going into tomorrow's game. We'll be discussing Max Dowman. Eze will be looking at what it means as well for pre-season. And, of course, we've got the Emirates Cup coming up as well. So, you know, let's make sure that we go show some love there. Go show some love to DJB, please, all of you. And, yeah, go and spam his chat with Dan Potts Raid. And we'll see you next time. We're out of here, people. Laters.